Hi guys, the Explorers here. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to be exploring a town in southwest Nigeria, Ondo State. We are going to be exploring the Idanre Hills, the floras and faunas of this particular view. After a 3 hours drive from Lagos, Nigeria, we finally arrived in Ondo town, then we decided to get some food. We branched at Crunch's restaurant. The turkey wasn't bad at all. It was very tasty and we were forward for the adventure we had ahead of us.
So we're here now to energize our I've been our mission to discover gold.
I've been we are in the local village.
Yes.
Of Ondo State, Nigeria.
Ondo State. What's the name of this village? We have a tour guide here.
Yeah. He's a local.
He's a local.
So I was trying to prank one of my friends. I told him I got intel on a 400 kg worth of gold hidden behind those mountains. I convinced them we were going to use the drone to scout for it and keep watching to find out if it did. We heard that there's about 400 kg of gold under the rock somewhere. So we are going to scavenge for gold today. We are going to use drones to look for the gold all over. And if we find it, we are going to what? Fap it.
But wait, so the drone is going to detect where the gold is.
We are going to use to look for it. We are going to use to enter the bush. We are going to go
Just
straight like this second. Okay. We are going to use to enter the bush, like scavenge everywhere. Probably we'll give it to federal government and they will give us court or something.
Give it to which federal government?
Because I will go evacuate 400 kg worth of gold.
No, we'll take the one we can take and leave the rest. Anybody
but it's under the rock now.
Anybody that can come and find it can come. We'll go. Let's see it first. We'll prepare and come back. That's what the
strategy
do. Yes. We'll re-strategize and come back.
So at first we got lost because we got carried away by the environment. So we had to ask the local to direct us back.
Nah, I know the cocoa for you.
Alright. We're quite embarrassed when we find out we lost our way, but we still kept pushing because we had to climb Idanre that day. Going back, we saw their primary school, we saw the healthcare center, there were kids all around staring at us, and we saw the beautiful town, the brown pines, the Rocky Mountains.
The
home of nature's wonder. It was a sight to behold. So we just arrived at the Idanre Hills Resort, and the admission fee is just 5,000, and for our camera 5,000 naira, and for the tour guide 5,000 naira. So 15,000 naira total to explore this beautiful mountain.
Welcome to Idanre Blessed Circle. So right from this very point to the peak, it's about 682 steps, and there are 5 resting points at a regular interval. Like the way we are going now, the 5 resting points is at a regular interval. The first one is right from this very point to the first resting point is 75. The second resting point is 225. The third resting point is 361 steps. The fourth resting point is 473 steps, and the last resting point is 580 steps. So when we get to that very point, we still have like a 102 that will take us to one of the peak, where we can be able to see the gravity of where we are standing on now. That is Ondo State. Like today now, there are 2 major zones in Idanre Kingdom. The first one is the ancient palace, as an ancient town that is serving as the core, environment, the core town, and the buffer zone, which is the present location. That is where they moved to in 1928 and 1933 respectively, all because of religious crisis and civilization. Like today now, when we finish the whole steps, it will take us to a plateau. Like the way we are standing here now, we'll not be moving from one place to another. And that is where we can be able to see all those places that you just mentioned. The first primary school in Idanre Kingdom, the first native court, native prison yard, the mausoleum where they normally perform the normal burial rites for their kings. And whenever any male child wants to get married in those days, where they normally subject them to physical screening, whether they are capable of getting married or not. And there is something that has to do with the source of their water. Up to now it's medicinal, that is Arun River. The source of their water is still right there, and it's medicinal up to now. So when we are done with that, there is a particular place, like an inscription on the rock. What is actually being written there is no one can actually decode it. That's what they call unreadable letter of the flood. It's an inscription on the rock. What is boldly written there, nobody can actually pronounce it. That is why they term it as unreadable letter. And there is something that has to do with a wonderful rock. It's suspended rock, as if it wants to fall. It's still right there for years. The suspended rock is still right there. And finally, we are going to end our tour at the ancient palace of Idanre Kingdom. That is the palace they make use of when Idanre people are living at the top. And up to now, there are so many things they still go up there to observe, like their traditional festival. Whenever they have anything doing, and the king is taking part, they are still making use of the palace. That's why you can see up to today, there are 3 exits there and entering for 3 categories of people. When we get there, we'll actually tell you more about the environment. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Binga by name.
As we began our hike,
welcome,
our energy levels were high and were filled with much anticipation, not knowing what to expect. I initially thought it would be a relatively easy task, but after climbing the first few steps, I quickly realized that this adventure would be more than what we
resting
for.
Point. And at this very point we are standing on now, we have done with 75 steps. So the reason why they map out this way is that there are people, with health challenges that can't be able to meet up to the top. That is the reason why they actually map it out like this, so they can stay here and wait for their people. There are 5 of these. This is just the first one. So the second one will be 200 25 steps. Welcome. Are you good to go? Okay.
So, I have a question.
Okay, sir.
Only people with pure hearts, you can drink the water. That if you drink the water and pray to her, that if your heart's no clean, she no go answer your prayer.
Where there is like that place now, up to now, if any lady is on a period, she's not allowed to
Climb
have access to that river. So because they still actually go there for different things. I mean, like during their traditional festival. Because the major traditional festival Idanre people are observing is Orosun festival. And there are so many things that is actually attached with the water, because the water flow all the way from the Orosun hill. And up to now, people are still coming around to fetch from the river, from the river, because it happens to be the source of their water. And to me, one of the amazing part of it is that when God actually created those people up there, and he decided to make he give them a water flowing stream that served them in those days. And up to now,
inside the rock.
Yes, and up to now the water is still right there, very pure. When you are saying this very point now, this is 225 steps. So this is the second resting point. So right from this very point we are now, at least we can be able to see the little view of the community. That is Ondo State Idanre. Like this is the major community in Idanre Kingdom. There are different community around the under the kingdom, but this is the major community.
And the name is
like Ondo State Idanre. So like they used to have Alade Idanre, they used to have Atoshi Idanre, they used to have Italura, several villages under the kingdom. But as far as the Idanre Kingdom is concerned, this is the major community in Idanre Kingdom. And this is where the Owa of Idanre Kingdom is.
What's the meaning of
Idanre, this is mystery.
This is mystery.
Yes, sir. So Idanre is mystery. So there are so many things that are actually attached with that. When we get up there, I will actually tell you more. I will tell you more. Bros, well done.
So guys, we are currently on step what?
225.
So let's stay together. So guys, where are we now?
225.
We say we are on step
We are on
225.
step 225.
So guys, we are currently on
Step 225.
Yep, and we're going to the top.
Yes.
Let's go!
If anybody double, video
Coming down is easy.
Ali, right from this very point we are now, we can be able to see the clear view of where we are actually coming from. So like this place now, this is where Idanre people used to refer to as a Dagunro spot. Daogunduro, that's the meaning, stop war. So in those days, when Idanre people were living at the top, there was nothing like a steps. It was just natural path. So if anybody are coming here from another location, and you really want to go and do something up there, maybe you want to go and fight there, this is where their security personnel normally stop anybody that want to go and wage war against Idanre people. Like this direction now, this is valley, and this is a massive rock. So this is only accessible route to the top of the hill. That is the reason why they map out this place as the Daogunduro spot. So if eventually an intruder is very smart And searching through that escape from this very spot, there's other place where they used to refer to as a Eseogbeji. Two people cannot pass at a time. The moat are still right there, deep pit. They dug it there for like a security mechanism. That's what they actually put in place to checkmate the excess of invaders in those days. It's still really there.
Now 2 people can pass there?
No, 2 people can pass there now. In those days, there's not that maybe anything like a spiritual attached with it, but they really want to make sure that people don't fall in there, by mistake. Maybe when you are going, you don't concentrate. Someone can actually, because it's a narrow path, someone can actually fall into the pit there. It's still really there.
I don't want to know. I don't rush now.
You walk like your car. Those are sports moves.
Okay, this is the 4th resting point. At this very point, we have done with 473 steps. So we still have like a 209 that will take us to one of the peak before we'll be heading to the ancient town of Idanre. So we have one resting point now, ahead of us. When we get there, it will be 580 steps so far. So far, so good.
You can do it, guys. Good.
Yeah, they record. Someone enter.
So, like, how many, like, can you count how many times you've climbed up this place?
I happen to be, I'm here on a normal volunteering something, like a freelancer here.
Okay.
I've been doing this for over 8 years. Wow. Here to be employed. I finished from Uniben, so I've done. I can actually recollect how many times I've done it.
It's good for your health.
Too. I know. But
very
because at least since 2014 up till now, I think it will be thousands times.
Wow.
Thousands times, because at least because there's no year that I will not even climb this place up to like 200 times.
Wow.
It's not.
Let me just put
it down. And I've done this 2 times before.
Wow. In a day?
Yeah. There was a time I had done it 3 times, but that very day I have some tourists that there is a place they used to call Challenge. There are some tourists.
There are some chalets up.
The condition is very bad.
It's
very bad. The Ondo State is making an attempt to do
something. As a private investor, can you get the land up here?
Yes, you can actually get that through by approaching the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
Wow.
That is the ministry that is actually supervising this property.
So you can actually buy land there and build a chalet.
They will actually be the one to tell you the terms and conditions that is actually attached with it.
Wow, that's very interesting.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, this is the last resting point. Right from this very point we are sitting on now, where you are sitting on now, we have done with 580 steps. So this is the last resting point. And right from this very point now, these steps to the peak, the last one is just 102. That's the remaining steps now we have ahead of us. 102. When we now finish the 102, we get to one of the peak. Like the way they actually, stages. The first, right from this very point to where there's a stone there, that's a small rock there rather. So to that very spot is 80 steps. So like a walking distance, like 3 or 4 minutes trekking, we are still going to make use of 22 steps. And that 22 step will take us to one of the peak, where we can be able to see the clear view of where we are coming from before we be heading to the second stage, which is the core zone, the ancient town. Good. You're welcome, sir.
You can do it. Man not down, even though man's not hot, but man can climb. You can do it. You're almost there. See.
That's it. That's it.
This is the, 660 steps. And at this very point now, we still have like, 22 more steps. But we are going to make use of that 22 more steps. Like a walking distance will be there at that very spot. And that one will be taking us to this top. So just to tell you the importance of that Arun River, they want to use this pipe to actually channel it to the present location where people can be getting it, easily. But you can see there, that is where the contract just end for now. But they are still making move in order to do that. So when we get there, you see by yourself. So you're welcome. Good.
Who is that? Mr. Kelvin. He's not coming. Upon reaching the fourth resting point, we realized Kelvin was missing.
You can do it.
And we started looking for him. 20 minutes later, we saw him climbing up slowly, heavily panting. We couldn't help but laugh. Ironically, he had been the one to consume the most energy drink when we started our hike, yet he was struggling to keep up.
Good. At this very point we are now, this route now directly to the ancient town, and this other side, this is the route as in the step to the tourist chalet. We want to go and see the clear view of where we are coming from before we be heading to the ancient town. Like when we are going now, we get to some certain level now, where we are not going to know whether we are hoppy or we are on a normal surface. The reason why we are good to know we are hoppy is because we climb those steps to have access to this very point. Like the way we are standing here now, ordinarily, if we are yet to have the knowledge of where we are coming from, we can't actually know we are hoppy because everywhere is flatter. Yeah. So we want to go and see the chalet and go and see the clear view of where we are coming from before we be heading to the ancient town. Are they still here? Okay. Hey. You can now wait. You catch up with them. When we are going to if they are still going towards this direction, the pressure is not going to be much. For you people.
Oh! I made it, baby! I made it! Come on, drone. I better have some picture first.
I'll talk to you.
Those are the clouds you showing us, right? Wow.
1890. Nigeria should never get independence then. I've gone there.
So guys, we are at the first primary school in Idanre Kingdom.
So we are now at the top of the hill now. At least the very point, the very first place now we actually get to is the first primary school in Idanre Kingdom. Like when Idanre people were living at the top, the Christian Missionary Society came, and they happened to be the one that introduced two major things that shaped the history of the environment. They introduced the Christianity, and they equally introduced the Western education. So when they introduced their Christianity, there are some people that actually welcome it, and and they get converted. So that is where they have a kind of a little conflict, little conflict between the Christians and the traditionalists. So those traditionalists, were still very much around when the Christians decided to move down in 1928, all because of religious crisis. Like 5 years after, the traditionalists decided to move to the base. In where we pick up the other time. That is Ondo. The Christians were moved down to Alade in 1928. Okay. So Alade Idanre. I don't know whether you cited one general hospital when you were coming.
Yes.
So that is Alade Idanre. So that is the first place the Christians decided to move to in 1928. And like 5 years after, the set of people that were left behind, traditionalists, they now decided to move down to Ondo State Idanre in 1933, all because of civilization. So when all of them were living at the top, the Christian Missionary Society came and they actually introduced the Western education. That is what led to the establishment of this primary school, elementary school in 1896. They came around in 1894, and 2 years after, they now introduced the Western education. That is what led to the establishment of this St. Paul Igbore Elementary Primary School. St. Paul Igbore Elementary Primary School, 1896. They used to come all the way from the summit where we are heading to now, just to come at school here, and at the closing hour, they go by the same way. But when the Idanre people decided to move down finally, they now move everything to the base. But they decided to preserve the the heritage, just for a monumental kind, just for people to come around and see the where people school in those days. This is the original one. You can see this one. They use this one to support it, and so also this one again. You can see it's in layers, just to tell you that this is the original something, but just to actually preserve it so that it will not collapse. That's why they now using this or this one to support. Yeah.
Is it strong?
They
changed the roof, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is the first primary school in Idanre Kingdom. Wow. Even my great-grandfather was not giving birth to it at the time this was built, 1894. Wow.
It's still strong.
I feel nostalgic, like I've lived there before.
Stop now. You find it hard.
I want to see after
That's what makes it. Like all of this whole drama. You said it too soon. I don't know. I feel like it will make it better. Actually. I don't know. And then use one emotional music.
But I think it was the Christians that pursued me then. Then I was worshipping Shango.
Na Shango?
Or maybe I was Shango.
Don't leave me.
Come. Bend down. Say it again.
Maybe I was Shango. Ogun. That's why I was born in Ondo State.
Don't leave me, daddy.
I will show you be. I saw them be.
So this is another spot. Like this place now, there are pathway here. So we are taking this direction now. And this place will take us to many places. Like this SLBG, from SLBG, native court, native prison yard, Masolia, where they normally test, the midwife whenever they want to get married. We go to the source of their water. From there, it will take us. We now move to the unreadable letter, wonderful rock. Finally, we are going to end our tour at the ancient palace. So, like this particular rock, there is one massive rock behind it. They actually form a fence around the palace. So they built the rock inside the palace. There is just the rock that form a fence around the palace that make it more naturally, secure. So if any intruder escape from that Daguro spot,
Yes.
this is where they will be waiting for them.
Wow.
Like this direction now, like this place we are heading to now, this side now, you will see now, when we descend now, you will see left and right, there are like a normal moat. The dog is there for a security hideout. Like it's one of the security mechanisms, security measures they actually put in place in order to secure their settlement against any external aggression back then. So we are moving towards this direction.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gbé mi dé ibẹ̀ o. Àní gbé mi dé ibẹ̀ o. What's the name of this?
SLBG. Two people cannot pass at a time. So like this place now, this is where the security personnel normally hide. I told you the security checking point is a Daguro spot. Yeah. And if any feeder escape from that Daguro spot, this is where they will be waiting for them. Hideouts for security personnel. Not to allow them to escape to the Asian town. That is the reason why they map out this place like this. Like this, you can see now left and right now they have the trench here, like a normal moat.
They hide inside.
Yeah, they will hide. Yeah.
Ambush anybody passing.
Ambush anybody passing that wants to come and attack them.
Wow.
As the leader of the pack, I have to be in front.
Leader of the last man standing up.
I'm the last man standing climbing the hill. I told you I don't have enough thrust.
Now down thrust.
How?
This I go. Go lower.
You tall guy.
You wanted to move.
No. Okay. I don't know people they say.
You want to.
environment. Yeah. When Idanre people are living at the top, there are some, like they decided to establish this legal institution just to checkmate the way people are, behaving within the community, to checkmate the as in the crime rate within the community. So like Yoruba people, we used to say that ìlú tí ò bá sí òfin kò sí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀. Whenever there is no rules and regulation, you can do whatever you like. But the Idanre people decided to put this thing in place just to checkmate the action of everybody. So this place now, this is the native court. So like this place where this our brother is sitting on now, and this other one, these are the litigant seat, the prosecutor and the defendant. And over here, they will set a table and the chair for the judge. So like all this room now serve as the chamber for the judge. Like that very spot there, that is the dock. Whenever anybody is undergoing trial, this is where they normally dock them. So if eventually they actually find such person guilty of the offense,
I'm innocent.
they actually find them guilty of the offense directly to the prison. So the prison is directly opposite of where we are standing on the native court. This is the prison, and these two places was established in 1906. Wow. So we want to go and see one of the prisons.
So this is the prison. So if you're found guilty here, they lock you up here. But how strong is the structures during the olden days? If they lock you up, can't you just break the wall? This place, you said this is the Odeoja.
Yes, sir. This is the marketplace. Idanre people term it as Odeoja, Market Square. Where they normally have their marketing activities in those days. Like when you look around now, you can see there are some relics there. Ruined building. Just to really tell you, there was a building there in those days. And up till now, Idanre people are still embarking on some procession whenever they are observing their traditional festival, which they used to refer to as a Orosun festival. It's once in a year. When it is time for the traditional festival, there are some people they used to refer to as the devotees, the Aworos. That is how Idanre people actually address them. They happen to be the Orosun worshipper. So these are the people that normally embark on some procession every time they are observing the Orosun traditional festival, just to actually appease the goddess of the, one of the wife of a king. That she's a very powerful woman. She helped the community. The pregnant women, the children. You normally prepare concoction. She's very strong, very very vibrant and very versatile women that actually help them in so many ways in those days. So, but they need to actually immortalize her. They're up till now. They're still worshiping her every year, and it's just once in a year. And when it is time for the traditional festival, the Shin priest will be here for 21 days. The people that they newly initiate will be here for 14 days. And
this place or that place?
No, everybody have their own house. Their house is up here. So, and there are people that the whole initiate will be here for 7 days. Mm-hmm. So, pending the time they will be through with the normal traditional rite. Like this very spot now. This is where they used to call Ije Shrine.
Ije Shrine. This place.
So like Idanre people used to call it Ije Shrine. No one is allowed to step on it now. Okay. It's strictly for the Owa of Idanre Kingdom.
Who is the Owa, the king?
That is the title of the of the king of the king of Idanre Kingdom, the Owa of Idanre Kingdom. So he happened to be the custodian of the kingdom. Like I told you, there are several villages under the kingdom, but the major community is Ondo State Idanre. So he happened to be the one that controlled the Idanre Kingdom, and he stay at the Ondo State there. But all that community have their various king, like a second class, third class,
kings.
Kings.
But he's the general ruler.
Yes, sir. So when it is time for the Ide traditional festival, and once in a year, they still come around here. They will stand at this very particular. The king will stand at this particular heap. He will now wear the Haitian crown before he can proceed on anything as far as this topic is concerned. Once in a year, they are still observing it. Like this very building now, this is the mausoleum where the king normally where the king normally perform the normal burial rite for their kings whenever they join their ancestors. Okay. So when it is time the king joins his ancestor, maybe the king grow old and he joins his ancestor, this is where they normally do the normal burial rite for the king. Up to now, they are still observing it. When we are through now, we'll be going towards that direction.
You can talk, you can put voice over.
Those are houses too.
So let's go to the source of their water.
Let's go to a special place. You use voice over cover this place. So like this place now. Okay, where is Bros now? So like this very spot we are now, this environment we are now, this is the Chief Ojomo's house. And this is a Chief Osolo house. And the one with the notice up there, we are still passing there, that is the Chief Lawrence house. So like I told you, whenever any male child wants to get married, this is where they normally subject them to physical screening, whether they are capable of getting married and take proper care of their wife, of their household. So they will actually bring them down to this place. They will ask them to carry the stone to their chest level. Idanre people
This stone?
Yes, Idanre people term this stone as Akonkogbe. Bachelor cannot carry it. So whenever any male child want to get married, you get to carry it to your chest level. When you're unable to take it to your chest level, that shows you are not capable of getting married. That's all about this.
Nobody going to marry for this town.
Yeah.
Wait, but people used to carry it.
Yes, no. No, they really want to tell. They really want. They really.
Bugatti.
Hey,
Bugatti.
My son, it remains small.
So Michael. They don't say waist length.
I can't do it now.
You know this.
Yeah.
Don't do it again. Just rest first.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take carry am, so I go marry.
So now let me do worthy of marriage.
Mr. Kevin,
I'm worthy of marriage.
I want to get married. I'm very single.
Okay. Let's.
Happy
We are heading to the source of their water. Oh, man, this people wicked though.
But those days they were very, very physical in everything.
And now, they were hunting now.
This one is not going to be a big deal for them in those days.
Yes.
Just because,
If you climb that place,
they give themselves in a farming activity.
Okay.
So back in the days in the Idanre Kingdom, the males had to prove their worthiness of marriage by carrying a very big stone up to their chest level. I was shocked when I discovered this because I couldn't even lift the stone up, talk less of carrying it up to my chest. Wow.
And now,
Go to play.
so wait, but if you carry it once, you feel married. Like, don't say every time you want marry. Just once.
Once you can be able to carry it, people have already believed that
yeah, man.
you have the energy to work in the farmland. So we just to test the ability of of a guy that want to get married. That is essence of doing that. They really want to know if you are capable of of having the energy to work in the farmland. Yeah. Because when you be able to take it, when you be able to carry it to your chest level, they will believe that, or they believe that at least this one will be having the energy to work in the farmland.
So that gives the person right to marry like 6 wives?
As much as possible.
They play.
So this is the Let's say a prayer.
A prayer.
This is the Iron River that they said anything you wish for will come to pass. As long as your mind is pure.
Dangote money. Dangote money.
Eh,
Guy, feed me. I want to pray my own
Why is
prayer.
Elon Musk money
Listen
as
to
a
me.
landlord?
I'm coming to
This
pray.
is the source of their water.
God,
They drink.
while they are praying for money, grant
This
me
is the source of
wisdom,
their water.
wisdom and long life. That's all I
So
require.
when Idanre people were living at the top,
Make sure you
this is
capture
where they
me,
actually get their water from. So they, the sources, is in that like that rock over there. That's where it's actually coming from. Yeah, this was
We saw the
actually
source when we were coming.
no, not that one.
No, over up there.
Okay, this is what actually served there in those days, and it's Arun River. Like the way it is now. Throughout of a year, it do flow like that. But when the dry season is much, they can trace it to the source where they can easily get it. So the river, the water is is therapeutic. I mean, it's medicinal. So people still come around here to fresh from it. You're welcome.
Is this the last place that we'll be going like this?
Yes.
Or are we going straight?
No, we are.
Good.
What did you pray for?
Dangote money.
You say Dangote
Plenty
money.
of Dangote money. In fact, Dangote money or $10 money. Who is that man that owns Boa? All of them, their money. I want it plenty. So that I will be carrying, when I'm coming to this kind of place, I'll take bodyguards and all that. They will carry me on there. You know the way they carry the Prince of Arabia? You understand? Why are you looking like, they say if I pray, it will come.
You never pray. Sure you know.
Dangote money, Dangote money, Dangote money, Dangote money.
You do Dangote walk. Babe.
I miss the mama figure.
What you do?
No serious.
Environment we are now. This is the Chief Lawrence house. So Chief Lawrence happened to be the chief priest. So you can see they still open the environment. Maybe there are some people around now. The chief is not around the way I see, because if he's around, he will have come out just to come and greet you people. So there are 3 things that is boldly written there. Nobody should wear clothes in this house. Shaking of hand is forbidden. And when you carry any load on your head, you must hold it with your hands. Just to really tell you, there are so many things they still come around here to observe up till now. During the installation of a new king, there are still some rites they still performing there before they will actually allow the king to move down to the palace. Like this place now, there are so many things that is actually the Idanre people actually attached with the environment. You can't go there with your clothes. You can't have an handshake here.
So do you mean that if I want to enter, we have to
Yes.
go naked? My
A
clothes?
lady will tie a wrapper, like a top like this. Okay. You can wear boxer or trouser. So you can see the way the chief that holds this place, that chief the other side, and this is the present Owa of Idanre Kingdom. Whenever they have anything doing, if anybody want to go there now, up to now, you can't go there with your top. So that is what they still have in place. So from here now, we'll be going to the unreadable letter, from unreadable letter to that wonderful rock, from wonderful rock to the ancient palace. It's just this rock that form a fence like this around the palace.
Wow.
Okay. No, it's ChatGPT or AI to read it.
Volcanic eruption. So it could have been during that volcanic eruption. There were when the rock was forming, something, while it was in the final stage of forming, something fell on that part and made symbols there. That's 1. 2, it could have been explorers in the past that wanted to break the wall, searching for diamonds
and marked it as the source of the place they found something.
Found, yes. Your phone.
And look towards that direction, you can see an inscription.
Yeah.
Look at that.
On the wall.
You can come.
Oh,
So when you look at it,
that's true.
Nature look like like any, you and some other letter ahead of it. So the reason why they term it as unreadable letter is that they are yet to find a lasting pronunciation, what is actually being written there. You know, they term it as unreadable letter because they can't be able to decode what is actually being written there. Yeah, you can help out. You know, the research work is still not going. From where you all those language, lecturer, they are still trying to carry out some research work just to really know what is actually being written there.
Throughout our exploration, we came across some ancient writings on the rock that no one till this day has been able to decipher. Of course, I couldn't decode them either, but as I gazed at the mysterious inscriptions, my eyes placed the funny one on me. All I could see were dollar signs. Maybe it was a secret message about hidden treasure we joked about earlier. Keep watching to find out. Tell me, what can you see? Look at this carefully. Can you see it? Maybe we'll be a millionaire together.
So this is the wonderful rock. So when you look at this environment now, you can see, it's just a suspended rock. That is what it's using to touch the other rock, and it's very massive. Like the formation now, the whole thing as if you want to fall to this direction, but it's still standing there like in form of an equilibrium balance. So this is OK Isurin. Idanre people actually term this place as OK Isurin.
What does that mean?
That is to say Isurin quarter. So whenever this is one of the quarter in the community.
What's Isurin?
Yeah, Isurin is one of the in form of a quarter, Isurin, where people there are some some family. Okay. Normally, there are some family that come from this this quarter in Idanre Kingdom, okay. And there are so many traditional things that are actually attached with the environment. Okay. In Idanre Kingdom, whenever a child want to bring out teeth, and they first of all bring the front teeth, in Aworo, the Aworo initiate, this is where they will actually bring the child to. So just to initiate into Aworo in Oge Isurin Kota, because they believe that such child is a very powerful child in the Idanre Kingdom. So like this place now, this is where this is the compound of Asurin of Isurin Kingdom, as in Isurin, it's in line, I think, Isurin Kota rather. So this is the house of Asurin of Isurin Kota. So like this place now, when their traditional festival is still not going, they still come around to stay here for some days. Like this Baba will be here and some other, Orosun devotees up to now. You're welcome. So from here now, we'll be going to the palace.
Sorry.
Water there.
Not me showing this camera and saying sorry.
That's why they do
Your boss almost go now.
Be careful, the water don't touch am.
On top your traction shoe.
Even with your traction shoe, you go fall.
I beg you.
So ordinarily in those days, they can actually allow you to pass where we just passed through now to have access to the palace. Like when you look at this environment now, this is the the front view, like other side I mean. And there are 3 exit and entry for 3 categories of people. The first one at this right hand side is for the queen. The middle one is for the king himself, and the last one is the general route. Like what I actually pointed to you the other time when we are at Ogbeji.
Yeah.
This is the rock. There is one particular rock that actually fence this one. This is the rock.
Yeah,
that form the
there are
fence
rocks round.
around the palace that links with this place. If anybody is trying to maneuver himself or herself to pass through this side, they will see that person as an intruder. Because there are normal routes for different 3 categories of people. So if you are trying to pass up there, they will know that this one is an intruder. So they will not allow such person to actually have access to the palace. The security will be at alert every time. So we want to go in there now. We want to have access to the Gbagede Oba now. Hey, you're welcome, sister. Gbagede Oba. So we are going in there now.
So if you to be anybody, they'll throw you here.
Yeah.
So we are going up. Yell at me, your leader. Yeah. Oh. Like a dwarf, they live here outside.
So this is the palace now.
This is a real palace.
Yeah, you can see this is the Gbagede Oba, the courtyard. So whenever there is a program going on within the palace in those days, this is where the performance will be taking place. Like the king will be sitting on the throne there.
So that's the king.
That is the throne. That is the security personnel. These are the people in charge of palace security. Idanre people time this place, this environment as Owape, the Owa will live long. Whenever anybody wants to have an audience with the king, this is where they normally meet with him. The king will be sitting on the throne there. And if there's anything like a program going on, like performance, it will be taking place in this place. Like that direction. Let's move closer to that place.
Well, where's the dancing tree?
Dancing
Tree.
like a.
They said there's a place here.
Yeah.
When you drum, the trees will be dancing.
At all. There is nothing of such.
I'm serious.
There is a particular traditional festival. The king, when the king is is participating, the king will be the only one that will be dancing when the drum is being beaten during that particular festival. So, and it's once in a year. So nothing of such. It's only the king that can actually dance to the tune of the of the drum once in a year. Like this place now, this is the Caledron's course. What they normally used to know the numbers of years their king spends on the throne. One score represents a year. Like the ones there now is for the present Owa of Idanre kingdom. It's once in a year they normally observe it. You know, whenever they install their king, that very year they will kill a cow and they will preserve it there. That is how they will be observing it every year till that very king join his ancestors. As soon as he joins his ancestor, they will now bring everything out and count it one after the other. One's can represent a year. For example, now the ones there now is for the present Owa of Idanre Kingdom. He has already spent 46 years on the throne. You know, there are 46 calls. There are 46 calls.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
over time, they have already accustomed themselves with the tradition. That's the reason why.
So when
still
there's a new
observing.
king, they will pack the skull.
When the Baba grow old and he join his ancestors, you know, they pack it and take it to, you know, some separate environment. You know, there are restricted environment here. You know, this is what I'm trying to talk about the other time. You can see the roof. You know, if they actually match that together now, the one we have now, it can actually be stronger than this, that it has belonged. They have it in place here. Okay. So there are so many things they still come around to observe. So we want to go and do, you know, a normal hiking now. Within the next, let me say, within the next 10 seconds or 15 seconds, we climb that place and we'll begin back. No, it's still very much in use. Now that is up to now. Whenever a king pay or one of the kingdom pay anybody a visit in this community, you can pick it down. That's where they will take it along with it. Okay, now. So where is the separate?
Good afternoon.
What's your name? Just think. What's your name?
Yeah, boy.
Palace. Okay. Oh wait, which pass did we pass?
Yeah, we.
The general person.
This is the general.
Okay.
The middle one is for the king, and the first one at the left-hand side is for the queen. The queen, the king himself, and the general roots. So like this place now, this is how they actually map it out.
So this is for the king,
the queen,
queen,
the king, and
general.
the general. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go, bros.
You guys go see that the structure in that palace. Wait, you know that the structure in that palace has different meanings.
Serious?
Yes. There are some that they are holding their breast. There are some that they are holding their feet.
Serious?
Yes. Come and see. I can't tell anything.
Wow.
How you go use and do anything?
You can't know nothing when they use the NFT these days.
Now go. No, don't you get like. Now go catch you.
Ogun wey dey just so.
You have to NFT your ancestors.
For this one now, this is the king, as in the new chief, the newly installed. So, you know, the tradition of the community is that when they install a new chief that has any major role to perform during their traditional festival up here, such person will still need to, you know, have his own building in place. Yes. So that is where he will be staying.
So every chief has to have a building. Yeah.
Yes, that is where he will be staying.
That's why we saw Chief Lauren.
Chief Lauren, Osolo, and Ojomo.
And please, do you know the meaning of those statues that are in the palace?
Yeah, there are some. They represent
Slave?
Yes. There are some, like, you know, there is what they actually call Hill-arious in Yoruba land. You know, whenever they castrate someone, maybe for example now, you happen to be a king, you get married to a particular lady, automatically she's a queen. Yes. So in those days, whenever you attach any male slave with her,
any like male slave
to be helping her do some certain thing within the palace, so they need to castrate such person. Wow. That's what they call Hill-arious in Yoruba land.
How do they castrate them? They remove their testicles?
Yeah, normal. Wow. So just, you know, nothing like a Russian gay, you know, feel free with the queen.
So this particular one, what does it mean?
Like this one now, this one now, you can see, like this one now, look like a form of like a sleeve now within the, you know, his knee down there, you know. This one, they are pure.
This?
No. Do you still have any other one?
This?
No, this one, they are pure. Like this one. Okay.
You send these pictures to Samuel?
Yes, now this one.
You know video that place?
I filmed, but wide angle.
Let's go and climb that place.
Okay. Climb where? Are we going?
Yes, sir.
What's left for us to check here? You are done?
Where are we going to? Up. Which
Which
way are we going?
We are going this way.
Okay, like this.
I shall from there. But avoid the view. What if I just avoid the road? No, stand so
On top of your trash no shoe. Person wey slippers even climb past you.
I better keep this power bank from your bag first. Keep it in your bag. Sama.
Only dúró síbi tẹ́ wá.
Àwọn tó kò ní ibi dúró sí.
Ibo nígbà ẹwọ ẹyin ẹlọ. Máa lọ. Ẹ dúró, mo ní ká dúró, ẹ dúró. Ẹ dúró sí màmá ẹ̀pọ̀ yín bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ kẹ́fọ́. Bros, ẹ dúró, ẹ ní sùúrù. Kò lè tó báyìí.
Wow.
Imagine your first day. Wait, do you know that using your bare foot is better than wearing shoes? Yeah.
Just the play.
No, padà sí the rubber.
Stay on it.
Stay on it, Michael. Make of a cake. No, second.
You know barefoot is better than wearing shoes.
I think we followed the hard part.
Ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́sẹ̀ yín wide. No, àsìkẹ́ bí lọ sí.
My shoe day.
Just put it on top of that. Good. Okay. Just come this way. Come along with me. Careful.
My shoe traction no jam. I swear.
Wow.
So, what we need to do now? Remember. Bros, wait. Can we go together? Toes, you make use of your toes, bros.
Okay.
Toes, you make use of your toes. Nice one. Good.
Ah. Finally.
So you can see the wonderful rock from afar.
Where those girls? That girl come past. Are they same place?
No. It's all.
She has gone back.
She's alone. She has gone back.
She did go this place alone.
That boy will help her.
Wow.
So that you can see the wonderful rock over there.
Just like everything in life, climbing up the hill was quite a challenge, but coming down was very easy. The breathtaking view and unique experiences on this adventure left me absolutely awestruck. As a Nigerian, I felt a deep sense of pride in the natural beauty and rich history of my country. It's truly an experience I won't forget anytime soon. Hi guys, so we are done climbing the mountain and we're back. We had a lot of fun, we saw a lot of things, we tried a lot of things. See you in the next video and we hope you had fun. Also, if you have time or you come around Ondo State, you can always come here. It's very affordable. Thank you.